Today we are making Christmas pudding ice cream sundae. It's completely dairy-free, vegan if you want it to be, and it's got like this caramel sauce on top and it's going to be so good. For the dairy-free ice cream, we need coconut milk, the full fat kind, maple syrup. You could use another sweetener of choice if you wanted, but maple's best in terms of helping it freeze with less sort of crystallization. Vanilla, get the cheap extract kind, and then we've got vodka. You don't need to have any alcohol or vodka in it, so it just helps with keeping it like a good texture. Then we've got your leftover Christmas pudding or Christmas cake. Basically, we're just gonna use up what you've got left over from Christmas dinner and make another really great dessert. We're gonna make a sauce out of coconut sugar or brown sugar if you don't have that, water, and then we've got almonds and cinnamon for toppings. The first thing you want to do, and you're going to do this the night before, is the ice cream. We are going to mix the coconut milk. So that's like a full tin, so it's like 400 ml. And then you're going to do a teaspoon of vanilla, 80 mils of maple syrup. I'm using vodka because it basically just doesn't have a taste when you put it in. Just don't put too much. Don't go above the tablespoon that I'm telling you to, otherwise you're just gonna have liquidy alcohol. It won't freeze. We're just going to slowly simmer that, like give it a stir, and it'll be about 5 minutes to make sure everything's combined. You're not bringing it to boiling, and we're just going to take it off, let it cool down. If you have an ice cream maker, stick it in there and then put it in the freezer overnight, so it will make it like all nice and soft. If you don't, just stick it in the freezer. If you can, give it a few stirs. If not, stick it in the NutriBullet when you get it out and want to use it. Blend it up, it makes it nice and smooth. And then we're going to get ready like to assemble the sundae. So your pudding, your cake, and the almonds. Just gonna stick them in the oven at 190. For 15 minutes. We just want it to get hot, a little bit crispy, and the nuts to be sort of a little bit roasted. While that's in the oven, get the ice cream out so it's softening up a bit, and then we're gonna make the sauce. What you're gonna do is add 100 grams of coconut sugar, or sort of brown sugar if you'd prefer, just not white because you want it to be that sort of caramelly taste. 80 mils of water, so I'm gonna stick it in a pan, put it on high and get it bubbling. Once it's bubbling, stir every so often. That's going to be for about 5 minutes, just so it's reduced down. So you're going to add the coconut milk once it's started sort of bubbling up and going that really dark caramelly colour, and then you're going to just leave it for sort of 10-15 minutes, stirring all the time till it reduces down to half the size. I'm using coconut milk because it's really high fat. You don't want the low fat one. We're basically making it like cream because it's dairy free. Essentially you could use cream, but you don't need to. Keep it dairy free. I wouldn't go for any kind of like flavoured milk, so if you went for like a hazelnut one, it's going to start tasting really funny. You just want neutral flavoured milk. Near the end, we're just going to add a little bit of vanilla. And once you've made this, you can just stick it in the fridge and it will last maybe like 3-4 weeks. It does start to separate a little bit. It can do that over time. Just give it a good shake or stick it back on the stove for a bit, mix it back up again. I think we are almost done and ready to assemble, so it's time to get everything so we can put the sundae together. So get some of your pudding and just kind of like crumble it in. I like to keep the nuts whole because I just think it like adds a bit of crunch. You can cut them up if you want to. Mine is really smooth here. I've had it out quite a bit, so it's more like soft serve now. Then more pudding. You can add like other stuff too. You could add fruit and things like that if you want. And if you want to go really crazy, you could put a shot of alcohol over the top. You want to serve it right after you put the sauce on because it's still hot and it will melt everything. Just a sprinkle of cinnamon and we're done. So there you have it, Christmas pudding ice cream sundae with a caramel sauce. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. All of the details are going to be down below in the description, and make sure that you come back tomorrow for another Christmas recipe.